OK. All this fuss about a little thing like that, John.
I know. When someone shouted in the audience, put a bit of bottom on it, Ronnie, that's not what he meant, I don't think.
OK, I think the coronation is just about to happen. But in terms of the way Ronnie's come out and started this first session, it could be obviously the last frame coming up here. We're just waiting for it to happen now. He's
played absolutely magnificently through the tournament. Andy Hicks must be very proud of the way he played. He got 13-11 with them early in the tournament because everybody else basically got blown away. 13-3 Anthony Hamilton, 17-4, who'd have believed that against Stephen Hendry, who's won here 7 times, of course. And here he is from 5-0 down, just played magnificently well. And he thoroughly deserves to win the event. He's been the best player by a furlong. OK, can Graeme Dott put the brakes on? Let's get out there and rejoin them.
Well, I think Graeme deserves to win a frame this evening.
Please.
OK, Ronnie
Frame
looks
26,
now sure to be
Graeme
crowned
Dott
champion of the world. But I'd just love Graeme to win one more frame because it would just be terrible to go out tonight having played such a major part in this tournament, not to just show this capacity crowd just one more time what a great player he is. Oh, there's the new remedy for snooker players next season, warm water. I just wonder, John, how many players in the clubs will be taking that to their table in their league matches on a Wednesday night in the hot water?
Yes, it certainly settled Ronnie's stomach when he had a little bit of a bug halfway through the tournament. Wonderful safety shot.
We're talking about things that impress you, John, during the championship, and I think that for me has been a major plus. Ronnie's obviously very meticulous in his break builder, but never been quite so meticulous in his safety play. This week, every single shot he's got 110%.
Absolutely, and you have to say, I mean, it came as a big surprise to everybody when Ray Reardon appeared in Ronnie's camp. But Ray Reardon was the master tactician, and, you know, it could have just made the difference.
Yes, there was a spell in Ronnie's career where if he didn't make a 70 break in every frame he won, he wasn't satisfied. But this is one of the most difficult games in the world, and Ronnie's now realised through working with Ray Reardon for this last few days that, you know, you can get a lot of pleasure out of playing good safety.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Now, if one of these two reds will pot, the miss won't be taken. Well, he appears to be looking at some sort of... Well, he's looking at that red. It will pot certainly off the right-hand jaw. It won't pot in the centre of the pocket. So there's not a lot of margin of error here. He's reluctant to have the balls replaced because he knows that Graeme Dott can play a very, very good safety and put him in trouble. Could only see half the pocket. That's all he needed.
1.
Yes, this was an excellent shot. He's on the green, but it'd be difficult to pot the green and get the cue ball back to this end. Oh, maybe the brown goes. Brown was past the yellow. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, sure.
And the brown gives him the perfect potting angle. There's Raimondo in the middle with the white shirt, and he's loved it here, and he's really enjoyed being involved with Ronnie. And I was chatting to him tonight, you know, Willie, and he said they shouldn't call him Rocket Ronnie, they should call him Ronnie the Magician. He said he has never seen a talent like it on the practice table.
To be perfectly honest, there's probably not been a talent like it on the practice table. Hendry, of course, has taken most of the accolades in the break building department over the years. And let's not forget, everybody's talked that Ronnie's unbeatable in this form, this, that,
13.
and the other. Hendry made 16 centuries in winning one of the championships of the world. Ronnie's only made 11.
14.
And Ronnie would be hard to say, could hardly play better than this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the only thing is about Ronnie, particularly a few times when he's got to the 80s
21.
in the championship this year, he started playing the rest of it left-handed.
22.
Just wonder, John, whether he'll play a cannon either the reds on the right or the reds on the left to hold for that one at the bottom of the pack. Playing the full ball cannon off the one on the left, and that's perfect.
$29.
As we say, just this frame to win the World Championship for the second time. Oh, and I was just going to say, he'd love to
Ronnie
make a
O'Sullivan,
century break.
29.
That was an unexpected miss.
Graeme just said, don't you want me to have a go? The way he played in the first 5 frames of this match, a match that, John, to be fair, nobody gave him a real chance. But the first 5 frames, he would have beaten anybody.
Yes, and his match against Matthew Stevens, he's really made a name for himself here. He always complained that he didn't get the credit he deserved. Well, they won't forget the name Dott now.
His family have been up over the last few days. His wife Elaine, Mum Susan, there they are sitting, just hoping that Graeme could make a little bit of a show of it this evening. And like I said a little earlier, I just hope he wins another frame. Of course, there'll be people who have bet on the outcome of the match, on the giving starts, the spread betting. I know my pal Racing Raymond, John, who you're well aware of, has had a few quid on Ronnie. He rang me this afternoon, said he's taken the rope off his neck. He was looking a bit dodgy when Ronnie was 5-0 behind.
Just having a sip of his hot water as Graeme comes round. I think we saw in the first frame when Graeme played a very dangerous double. I think it's the last throw of the dice time. I don't think he's going to refuse anything that he thinks he can pot.
Yes, it appears that he hasn't got a lot left. Ronnie O'Sullivan has choice of reds in the middle. If it goes in and gets on the black, a chance to be crowned champion again.
One.
Well, he's played for the red
8.
just above and to the right of the black. If he's got on that, that was a perfect positional shot. There you see it. His cue ball, he's just
9.
been magnificent throughout the tournament, even when he was really under pressure. He's always had good control of that cue ball. It makes it so much easier.
16. 17.
3 reds, 3 colours. Graeme Dott will need a snooker.
Yes, and you can't see him making a
24.
mistake. I suppose the only thing that couldn't force him into an error is the
25.
fact that inside he'll be bubbling. He's worked very hard Been very disciplined. And he's going to get his just desserts.
32.
Yes, he's only won one tournament this year, let's not forget, and that was from 8-5 behind against Steve Davis.
33.
Yes, I think he's learnt a lot from those defeats this year when he lost to Paul Hunter in the Masters. Oh, you see, he's thinking about collecting
Ronnie
that
O'Sullivan,
trophy.
33.
That's what he was thinking about. He was thinking of what he was going to say at the winner's speech there.
And isn't it amazing? That just shows
One.
you what the winning pose can do to you. Incredible.
Eight.
He has a perfect angle on this red to leave an angle on the black to play into pink and red, which would be the normal way round of going for the clearance at one visit. Leave that red on the back cushion a little longer. But now he hasn't got the angle to do that.
Sixteen. Graeme Dott, 16.
That could be his last shot.
Okay, settle down, please.
Ronnie O'Sullivan just needs one red and a colour.
I can't for the life of me think why Ronnie's not playing the red over the pocket, just red and black he needs. Okay, this should be a certainty, but we've just seen him miss a straight pink off the spot. In it goes though.
One.
And that...
Six.
Quite simply,
7.
O'Sullivan has been the best player of the tournament. The smile up to his army of fans in the balcony. I'm sure the smile was probably to his mother who's sitting up there.
14.
To win the Embassy World Championship for the second time is something that most players
Come
have
on,
never
gents,
done
please.
once.
15.
A big credit should go to Graeme Dott. What a tournament he's had. He's got nothing to
22.
be ashamed of. He's played, at the moment, the best player in the world. And the handshake, I'm sure, will come from Graeme Dott. What a tournament. O'Sullivan has been quite simply magnificent. He takes the Embassy World Championship by 18 frames to 8 as the Crucible audience give him a standing ovation. Well played, O'Sullivan.
So there's a lovely moment with Ronnie's mum, Maria. She only decided to come here to the Crucible a couple of hours ago. I think she was so nervous she was waiting elsewhere. Wonderful moments for Ronnie and his mum. You can see how much it means to the two of them. So Ronnie O'Sullivan becomes only the 4th player to win the Embassy World title twice here at the Crucible. Just saluting his team. And now, as David Vine always used to say, it's payday. Ronnie will shortly be reacquainted with the famous old trophy he first lifted 3 years ago, because Ray is down there with the presentation party.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree we've had an awesome display of snooker from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ronnie, congratulations to you. It takes 2 people to play in a final. Before we talk to you, Graeme, what a performance you've given over the championship, and thank you very much. Ronnie, if I can borrow you for a moment, many congratulations.
Cheers,
can you describe the emotions you're experiencing at the moment?
Well, you know, if it would have been close, obviously it would have been obviously a lot more emotional. But you know, I had such a big lead coming into tonight that you know it's like a little bit of an anticlimax. But you know, Graeme took me all the way, and you know he's so tough. You know, saying underdogs, this and that. But you know, at 5-0 down, I was sitting there thinking, you know, this is could be 18-0 to him. You know, but I was just pleased I got going. You know, and turned it around.
What about the snooker you've played throughout the championship, and also the last couple of days? You've been incredibly composed, even when things haven't gone well. You just made them go well.
Yeah, well, I mean, my cueing hasn't been to you know the highest standard. You know, through the 17 days, you know, I've cued well in spells, but you know, Plan B was you know Ray's come down here and he's added a new dimension to my game, and you know, I don't want to give no secrets away, but you know, he's really improved me in certain areas, and you know, I think that's where I need to develop as a player, and there's still room for improvement, so I'll just keep going and going, you know.
I'm sure you'll concede your opponent is tenacious and very gritty.
Oh, I mean, well, you know, people were saying, you know, it's going to be a one-sided final, and I'll tell you what, I knew it wasn't going to be, and you know, it was no surprise. He's got qualities all over, and you know, the players he's beat this week, you know, he's beat John Higgins, who's probably one of the greatest players that's ever played, Matthew Stevens, who always does well here, and you know, they're great players, you know, so what does that says a lot, you know, Graham's a great player as well, he's up there with the big boys, and, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he's
Graeme, when you smashed your cue up in January and sort of imagine 4 months later you'd be here playing in the World Championship final?
No, absolutely no chance. I couldn't beat anybody really the way I was playing.
What have you learned about yourself over this last championship and these last few days?
Well, the last few days I've obviously learned that Ronnie's phenomenally good. I managed to, the first couple of sessions I managed to at least stay with him and make a bit of a game of it, but this afternoon session he was dynamite. I mean, his potting, they keep talking about his potting's phenomenal, but his safety's, I mean, different class. I was welded all the time with the cushion and I had no chance really tonight.
Graeme, we've learned you're a great player too, and you'll come back and do it all again. I'm sure you'll believe in yourself.
Hopefully, I mean, I believe myself a bit more now.
Can I just suggest keep the cue, it's going okay. Ronnie, before we get over to some presentations, just what are you going to achieve from now on? You've taken the game to such a different level. You enjoy entertaining the crowd too. The way you play, people say you're not a rocket, you're a magician. What are you going to do with your game now?
I'm not too sure, you know. I'm really not too sure, you know. I'm just going to enjoy the moment. And who knows, next season I don't know what I'm going to do, you know. I'm just going to enjoy it for the moment and take some time off in the summer. And if I do carry on playing, I just want to keep improving. So that's it, really.
You've really entertained us, and it's great to see your mum and all your family and your friends. You have a great support team around you, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't expect them to be here, you know. I wanted to just get on with the job, and I told people that I didn't want them here. Maybe it's a bit selfish, but you have to look after number one sometimes, and this is the greatest tournament any snooker player can play in, and it means so much to me. So, you know, and I just want to say for my dad, you know, this one's for him, you know, so for my man.
Ronnie. Graeme, congratulations. Ronnie, just take a moment because there's a few things you've got to go through yet. Ladies and gentlemen, a great final. Two great players that really entertained us. Please welcome the presentation party. Graeme Dott, Managing Director of Western Europe and Imperial Tobacco Limited. Snooker and the WPBSA, and Mr. Peter Dyke from World Promotions. Gentlemen, welcome. The The runner-up will receive a cheque for £125,000. Graeme Dott. The winner will receive a cheque for £250,000, the championship trophy, a magnum of Champagne Victor, and the title 2004 Embassy World Snooker Champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, Ronnie just having a joke there with the false teeth. Little trick on Ray Reardon, I suspect. But a terrific moment there for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Steve and John with me in the studio here. What really has most impressed you about the way Ronnie has played the last 17 days? Cueing, concentration, what?
Focus, Hazel. Absolute focus from ball one right the way through, but particularly from the quarter-final. I don't ever remember him being like that. There's been sessions of it, but I thought his focus has been brilliant all the way through.
Yeah, I think Ronnie's put on a snooker masterclass in the last 2 weeks and has set a benchmark, possibly a new high, that's going to be difficult for other players to live up to, and it's going to be tough in some ways for Ronnie to live up to it, but the only way forward is to try and push the barriers of the game further, and Ronnie O'Sullivan is certainly capable of doing that.
What was the missing ingredient that Ray Reardon has so successfully managed to find?
It's difficult to know, really, with them. I mean, obviously, Ray is very much an old head, very experienced. I think probably Ray's been a little bit like a father figure, if you like. He's been here and he's been helping Ronnie with that, and he's certainly been focused since he's turned up, and he's loved every minute of it, Ray being here, and it's certainly helped Ronnie.
Well, there he is, enjoying his moment. Second time he's won this trophy and the title. But let's assess what Graeme Dott's contribution has been. He's surprised everyone. What has this done for his reputation in the game, Steve?
Well, I think everybody within the game knew how good a player Graeme Dott was, and I think it remains to be seen whether Graeme Dott can use this as a springboard to pushing himself further up the rankings and winning ranking tournaments. He's got to sort of follow it up with something else, but it gives him a great chance.